Hi everybody, Laura here. So glad you're joining me. Today I have a project to share with you using the adorable new Christmas Cats set. It came out in the Create Joy release, and I'm starting with a panel of Nina Solar White. I'm taking one of the nested circle dies and I'm gonna put the cutie patootie little kitty cats right there in the center, and I'm gonna make a little focal circular window. We're gonna do a partial die cut, and you could do the cats right like that. You don't have to frame them with a circle window, but when you do that, it really draws attention to those cats, draws your eye into the focal point, and that's why so often I do create windows for images that I just want to draw attention to, especially these kitty cats. I love cats. I love dogs. I love monkeys. I do not discriminate with animals. I love animals, all kinds, but particular, I do love cats. So here's how we do the partial die cut window. There's lots of different ways to do partial die cutting. Here's how I do it most often. My top cutting plate, I put it in about 3/4 of the way on top of the bottom cutting plate. So everything that sticks out, that bottom part of the circle, will not get cut. And so I'll run this through and run it back again, and you'll see once I pull it out that that little bottom part of the circle did not get cut. And so you've got your partial die cutting. That is how you do it. And it's fun, and I do it all the time. I love it. So the reason I left that little bottom part there is we're going to make a bit of a ledge. Now you've got to cut this out with your craft knife. So I'm using my metal ruler because I've learned the hard way. I've been cutting into my plastic rulers every time I do that with my craft knife. And so metal works much better. Really simple straight cut. Easy peasy lemon squeezy there. Now you've got a little ledge, and that's going to be for our little kitty cats to like sit on, perch on, sit on, lay on, stand on. I don't know what cats do. What they lay most of the time, but these cats are sitting up because they're going to have some little goodies. I cannot wait to accessorize these cats. Look at all the fun things you can put on them. I'm just giddy. So I'm just stamping away. I'm going to stamp a bunch of images on some Nina Solar White, and then I'll color them with my Copics, and then take the coordinating dies and cut them all out. So I kind of do this all in one swoop here, stamp them all once, color them all once, die cut them all once. And look at these mittens. I can't even handle it. Mittens for the kittens. So I stamped a few extra in case I mess up with my Copic color, and I changed my mind with the color scheme I'm going for. Santa hat, forget about it. Reindeer headband, forget about it. I can't even handle it. Now the scarf, I was kind of wishing, see how that scarf kind of swoops off to the right? I wish I had one that swoops off to the left, because I'd put a scarf on each cat and have them swoop off to the side. You know what I'm saying? But whatever, I stamped 2 of them, see what I'll do with it. And then a little heart. One of my kitty cats is going to hold a heart in his hands. And even though cats do not, well, at least mine, the only time she ever really shows love and affection is when you've got some type of food in your hand. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. She does want to be pet. She'll come up and pet. But a lot of times, she's snooty. I'm just going to lay it out there. But we love her anyway. So here we go. I sped up the coloring because there's a lot of coloring. And I really love coloring these. Some of these stamp sets that came out in the Create Joy are just killing me. I love them. I love cute images that make you smile. And I know when you give it to the recipient, it's going to make them smile. That's what it's all about. So I'm going to color 2 different colors of cats. Because this color is what my color is, like a yellow tabby. My kitty cat, Bella, is her name. And then the other one, I'm going to do the gray, kind of like Christina Werner. I know she designed this stamp set, and she's got those 2 cute kitty cats, Daphne and Sophie. And I thought I'd do one kind of like the colors of her cat. So I'm just going away. Now I'll do some stripes. Or like, what do you call it? Stripes, I guess, on the cat. But I like to do it really loose because, you know, it's a loose cartoon character. So I don't want to be too overly obsessed with making my coloring realistic. You know, the stripes and the hair and the strands and the light source and all that. I'm just having fun with it. I'm just going with it because as a cartoon, you know, you don't have to be too serious about making it look perfectly realistic. So keep that in mind when you're Copic coloring. Have fun. Don't stress out, because I used to do that. I used to stress out when I was learning how to color with Copics. I was worried about my light source being consistent with all my images. If it was coming from the top right, I wanted to make sure that all my images had that light source coming from the top right. And you know what? That takes the fun out of it. Just have fun and feel it and go with it. Okay, can we talk about this reindeer headband that is going to go on this cat? I can't even handle it. I mean, if I tried to put a reindeer headband on my cat, you know what she would do? I'll tell you right now what she'd do. She would just drop she would just literally flop down on the ground and boycott everything in life. She'd just lay there and look at you and play dead. Like, I will not live life with this reindeer headband on my head. I know her. She just boycotts it. The kids try to dress her up all the time. They got all this, my girls have collected American Girl dolls, so they've got a lot of American Girl doll stuff, and they try to put it on the cat, squeeze her into jackets and pants and hats and stuff, and she just flops down and boycotts it. She just boycotts it. So now we're moving on to the Santa hat, and I can't wait to put this Santa. I'm going to like put these hats and accessories, I'm going to kind of cock them off to the side, like how it would be if you really put them on a pet. You know they never stay on perfectly straight. They always end up kind of blocking their eyes and stuff like that. So I'm kind of doing Christmassy colors. I've got a green scarf and a red Santa hat, trying to bring all that festivity into my color scheme. And of course, you know me, I like to do bright colors. And I think it's fun and it's cheerful. And this whole stamp set is very fun and cheerful. Animals just make me happy. I'm an animal lover. I always have been. It always reminds me when I got married to my husband. He played professional hockey at the time, and he played for several years in Germany. And so when I married him, I moved over to Germany, and I was very homesick. I had a hard time at first. I couldn't speak the language. And, you know, he would go away to play games for several days at a time, and I'd be left there. And of course, there'd be a few wives that would speak, but, you know, you're not always with them all the time. So there was a lot of time where you're alone, and you go for walks, and you can't really speak to anyone. You go to the grocery store, and you can't really read the signs. I had a hard time with the money. At the time when I lived there, it was Deutschmarks, and I struggled with that in the beginning. So there were times when I would find stray cats on the street when I go for a walk, and I would pet those kitty cats, and I would cry, and I'd be like, you're the only one that understands me. So those kitty cats have a special place in my heart in my lonely days in the Black Forest. So yes, I love cats, but of course you already know the story about me. I always wanted a monkey. So if I could put a reindeer headband on a monkey, I mean, I would think I'd die and went to heaven. So here I am. I got all the coordinating dies. I adhere them with some Post-it tape. Die cut those all out really quick and easy. So I'm going to do a little soft ink blending behind my animals. And I'm using a little Malibu and my Ranger mini ink blenders. And just blending that in until I have just kind of an ombre, dark from the bottom and lighter at the top. Nothing too heavy, just nice and subtle. Just a little color to go behind the animals. A little something, something. So here we go. Here's my little partially die cut window. We're going to pop that up with foam tape. And I also have already stamped the sentiment from the Christmas Cat stamp set, Meowy Christmas. I didn't realize I had to edit that part out because my head was completely over top of the card when I was stamping the sentiment. You know how you get right over top of it? And some days you have good hair days and some days you have bad hair days. Well, this was like off the charts bad, crazy hair day. It was up in a bun with like major wispies. It looked like I stuck my finger in a light socket, and I'm not exaggerating. So now here's the best part of the whole thing, accessorizing the cats. I almost got the shakes. I was so giddy about putting this reindeer headband. I cocked them off to the side, each one going cocked to the right and the other one cocked to the left, and then I'm going to put on my bright green scarf. How fun is this? And it's really getting festive. Now, the mittens, last part, the mittens. Can you even handle the kitten mittens? And this card is just about finished. Now, the last thing I'm going to do just to finish it off is add a little white gel pen, because there were parts in my Copic coloring that I went outside the lines. You know it happens to the best of us. So what I do is I take my white Signo gel pen, my favorite one to use for this type of a thing, and just touch up any mistakes. I go around the edge, because you know how you get that little white border around your die cut images? Well, you want that to be nice and crisp and white. If you're a perfectionist like I am, and so that little detail really makes a big difference in your execution. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.